News Talk 640 WFNC. What you're I'm looking at you and you're doing
Yeah,
all
I'm
this
doing
stuff.
this. I'm talking about how y'all have the fancy microphones here that if you're just anywhere close to it, right?
That's
it's
an
gonna pick you up.
RE20. That's a broadcast
It's gonna
standard
pick you
mic.
up.
It's called
That's right,
RE20.
that's right,
Yes,
that's
we
right.
nothing but the best for you.
Nothing but the best,
Right.
right?
If you're just joining us,
Premium, if you will.
at the very top. If you're just joining us, Myron Pitts is with the Fayetteville Observer. You're the opinion editor.
That's right. That's
and
right.
you've been. How long you been doing this?
Oh shoot! I've been with the Observer for right at 27 years, so it's been a while. I started off as a reporter covering West Cumberland County because that's where I'm from. I came up through the Westover schools with the rest of the Pitts brothers.
Well, and who are the other Pitts brothers? One
The
is
other
very
Pitts
famous.
brothers, former mayor Marshall Pitts Jr. and my middle brother Migel Pitts. A lot of people call him Miguel, but his name is actually Migel. He's the middle brother. He worked for the state for over 30 years in juvenile probation. He's retired, semi-retired. He's still working. But
Are you guys
those
still
are the three. I'm the
MP3s? Are you
baby
still
of
doing
the
that?
bunch. We're still doing the MP3 show
On
on WIDU. That's right. So Fridays.
Well, it's good to hear your voice and everything and do what you do. Take it away. You've been covering some stuff.
Yeah,
and,
a little bit of stuff.
I don't want your time to get away.
Well, the one thing I wanted to say was just to thank you personally for your participation in the 2026 Crop Hunger Walk. Cumberland County raises money to feed people and to address poverty both worldwide and in our community. And you were, of course, as the MC out there. I was your cameraman for a little bit, and honored to do it. But really, we really appreciate your involvement, and we hope that could be a regular thing. It was a great event, great day for it, and I was well pleased.
Well, what we'll do next year, as it gets closer, we'll get people on the radio, and we'll get more people into it. So
perfect.
Because I don't think I had Lauren on in advance. We had her on the day after.
Yeah, Laura Lupton, the organizer, she does great work, as always, has been doing it for some years now. And I also would just say, before we leave this topic, that people can still donate. You can still donate. The local money goes to the Fayetteville Urban Ministry, which we all know does extremely good work in our community. So just go to Cumberland County Crop Walk, the website. If you want to, donate specifically through my church, Campground United Methodist Church, I wouldn't be mad at you. But the point is that you donate. And you, of course, also donated that day, and we appreciate that. Yeah.
So like I said, most times you pay them MC to come out and MC.
Yeah.
I think I surprised Laura. I put out $100. Boom.
Right.
Throw it in the
exactly.
pot.
That's right.
Because we can't lose sight of it.
Yeah,
we can't lose the sight. I mean, that's a
the mission,
little something.
Right.
But
The mission, right.
That's what it is.
So, news-wise, data centers, Gilbert, as you know, they're in the news. A lot of people are very skeptical, and that's using a benign term. A lot of people are just flat out opposed to them. I went to an information session sponsored by Freedom for All. That was on Saturday. Good turnout for that. I think an even bigger turnout for the county. Cumberland County commissioners had a public forum about it earlier this week. Our reporter, Rachel Riley, was out there. She has a story up right now. Andrew Kraft, who's, low key is one of the best photographers in the country. He works for the Fayetteville Observer, and he was out there taking some pictures. So we have a photo gallery, and the opposition to these large-scale projects, which power AI and a lot of other online activity, is still pretty consistent. What is interesting, though, that does not necessarily mean that government officials are still not looking for a potential data center project. And I have a story that's coming up tomorrow where Robert Van Giens, who they call Robo, who's the city and county economic development director, he was talking about how there's been lots of calls, and he's mentioned this before, from investors in data centers who want to come to Cumberland County. So he's like, there's nothing written down, no agreement yet, but he talks about the importance of having any kind of regulation that a city or county wants to have. You need to kind of have that in place, because there's nothing to stop an investor from obtaining land and
Well,
then
that's
going
the
forward with
question.
the project.
We were talking off camera a second ago about the fact that there's very little land now available. Where are you
That's
getting
right.
that piece from?
That's right, and then that's the that's the other interesting part of. In fact, that's the main thrust of my article. Van Giens, aka Robo, was saying that the large scale projects like an Amazon fulfillment facility. And the Project Arrow, which is the supposedly future titanium plant, those kind of took up the last two infrastructure ready spaces of that size.
And you make a point. The
Yeah.
infrastructure is the issue because
Is the key.
we still have land near Godwin.
No, we got land.
We got land.
but
We just
it's
don't
the
have.
infrastructure ready piece. And because of that infrastructure piece and because of the role of the Fayetteville Public Works Commission, most large scale projects are going to be kind of close to the city of Fayetteville. Because one thing that Robert Van Giens was talking about in response to specific questions from Mayor Mitch Colvin is, are there workarounds? Like, can you deliver the power, the water, the sewer through on close by pieces of land that aren't necessarily on the property where the big project is, and that is a possibility and has been done before. So it really did kind of get my attention when Van Giens, aka Robo, said that Project Arrow took the last sort of large scale infrastructure ready space, and that's near that's supposed to be near the Goodyear plant off Ramsey
Right.
Street.
Yeah.
So
Well, what else you got on tap here in terms of things of importance? Well, let me get your take on the 82nd.
Yeah.
Possibly heading out.
yeah, it's in some respects it's not surprising news. It's war. And anytime there's a war going on, there's a possibility that the 82nd Airborne, the red phone is still there out there at Fort Bragg. And the president called that phone. Currently, the belief and the reporting, including in the Fayetteville Observer, is that about 1,000 troops from the 82nd are going. Initial reports came out, Gilbert, there was 3,000 to 4,000. Now they're saying about 1,000. That's joining more than 5,000 Marines already en route or there in the Middle East. And I just want to make it clear to people, there are some people trying to call what's happening there, I think even the president himself called the military operation. Yes, it's a military operation, but it's one we call war.
Well, that's exactly right. Well,
if you're sinking people's battleships and you're dropping bombs on their capital cities, that's war.
Well, and I had a great conversation with General Dan McNeil yesterday. Had him come in, and we reflected on some of those things. He wouldn't cross the line in terms of talking about should we be there or not. But
Right.
he did say that he didn't see anything that was illegal.
Yeah.
But those things are personal and all a matter of perspective on how you see what you see.
Sure.
But we see admirals, we see folks who are resigning and retiring,
Yeah.
and not wanting to follow those rules or
Right.
those orders,
Yeah.
which they think are illegal. So
Right,
we'll leave
right.
it up to the political pundits to decide the rights and wrongs in all this.
Can I bring up one thing on a much lighter note? Beth Hudson, who's the executive editor of the Fayetteville Observer, she has a good article for people looking for things to do this weekend. It is a huge food weekend in town. I think you probably knew that, Gilbert. There's Uncle Carl's Barbecue Showdown. That's going to be on Saturday. The same day, there's a barbecue cook-off at Haymount Truck Stop. The same day, there's a macaroni and cheese cook-off over there at Segra Stadium.
Segra, yeah.
Segra. There's a chili cook-off at Cliffdale Community Church. So we're doing some eating. And then on Friday, of course, is 4th Friday again. So good weekend to be out. The weather's going to be pretty decent. Might even be a little warm, but, just wear your hat. Put on sunscreen if you need it and go out and have a good time.
Well, for those of us who call Fayetteville home, there's never a bad weekend. I do my karaoke thing in
That's
Melbourne's, and we like jam. But you got to come over there sometime.
I got to.
I mean,
I
it's
got you.
normally
Check it
jam
out.
packed, and a lot of folks come out and have birthday parties and celebration. We have
No,
a good
you
time.
still the undisputed master of the super mix.
I've never been beat in a battle. Never. And Trevor's over there like,
That's right.
But he's never seen me.
Still got
So
the
look,
title.
back in the day, I used to play on 4 turntables.
Yeah,
live,
okay,
and all
okay.
these Seratos and all those
So
things
2
that people
wasn't
do.
enough.
No,
Yeah,
no,
double.
no.
Okay,
Hey,
all right, gotcha,
I was like this. Wiki, 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 wiki. I used to take my shoe off. Say, dang.
Yeah, keep on.
Well, look,
we
it's always
appreciate all you do.
Pleasure having you here. Put your name underneath you one more time, because I put Darryl Allison under you for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I'm old. Chancellor, that's not you. I'm old. All right, Myron Pitts, the Observer opinion editor.
That's right.
Every other
that's
week
right.
you come. I always call you and say, you going to make it? And
Yeah.
sometimes
it's
bring your
always good
youngin
to
in here again.
Yeah, I got to.
Okay.
Yeah, both of them.
All right, you're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable. No, we've got the news from CBS 17.
Good morning from the CBS 17 newsroom. I'm Bill Young. More than 1,000 soldiers from Fort Bragg's 82nd Airborne Division are expected to deploy to the Middle East. It comes as the U.S. is sending 5,000 troops to the region. That is on top of the more than 50,000 already deployed, despite reported negotiations. Governor Stein announced a $1.5 million grant to expand what is called the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion Program, otherwise known as LEAD. It's an effort to connect people experiencing addiction with support services and help reduce repeat crime. The state is using the Fayetteville Police Department as a model for that expansion. The city used opioid settlement funds to start its LEAD program back in 2016. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
Today will be partly cloudy with a high temperature of 69. Overnight will be partly cloudy with a low of 50, and Thursday will be mainly sunny with a high of 80. This morning was cold, but warmer temperatures continue to move into the Sandhills through the end of the week. A cold front still arrives Friday, bringing rain overnight, and then cooler temperatures for the weekend. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Right now, 35, that's the number across the board. Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and Spring Lake. You are listening to News Talk 640. We are